So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, oh man, this is going to be a light news week. How am I going to make a Dragon Ball weekly news update? I might have to put it off for another week, and then boom. We got brand new Fighters content, a Sparking Zero DLC Season 2, and a new GEKISHIN SQUADRA character. Now the Sparking Zero stuff is understandable, the GEKISHIN SQUADRA stuff is understandable, but the craziest thing was the fighter stuff coming out of nowhere. So it's a balance adjustment update is what they try to make you believe at the start of this trailer. So it says successfully timing a Z-Reflect can turn the tide of battle. Very cool. But wait, there's more. Every character's been updated. What? What? They're updating every character in Fighters? Available October 12th, 2025. Okay. Now, I'm not like a Fighters expert or anything, so I couldn't tell you how those characters were different from the previous base game launch. So I'm not able to tell you one way or wait, what? What is this? Oh, what? What is it? What? Dude, is that Fighters DLC? What? Super Saiyan 4 Goku coming to Fighters in 2026 of spring? Oh my, okay, so spring of 2026. So for those who are not aware, Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour is taking place, I believe, in April 2026. Spring of 2026, I think, is from March to June. So Battle Hour is literally releasing. And remember, they were advertising Fighters on the page, and people were like, there is no way we're getting new Fighters content. It's just not on the cards. It's just not in the cards. They'll bring Fighters out to have a competition. Now, this changes everything. So a lot of people are speculating, because we're getting balance updates and every character is getting updated, right? And they're adding one new character, we could be seeing an additional season of DLC for Fighters. A resurrection of Fighters, if you will. Because remember, they are probably not going to do a Fighters 2 because they're working on the Marvel game. But they could have like a small DLC team put together for Fighters because of this, right? Because, I mean, think about it. In Battle Hour, they could just be there to advertise this one new character, and even if that is just what they're doing there, that's still really cool. Look at freaking Super Saiyan 4 Goku. This is not the style from Nakatsuru. This is more of a regular Dragon Ball Z, big, bulky, sharp edges style. So this is, we're going to see Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku. And this is, they're going to be the only Super Saiyan 4 Goku in Fighters because they don't have GT Goku in Fighters. They've got Gogeta, right? So here's your Super Saiyan 4 Goku for Fighters coming 2026 spring. So this is crazy. This is exciting. This is fresh. This is awesome. This is completely unprecedented and absolutely changes how everything's going to play out. So let me return because I'm so excited. This was like such a surprising thing to wake up to, especially because I was worried. I was scared of the potential light news week. I was scared there wasn't going to be anything to talk about. I was scared, Dragon Ball's on a downward trend across all social media because there's nothing driving engagement. There's no manga. There's no anime. The games are literally carrying the brand as we speak. And now with Fighters coming back, there could be potential for a second resurgence because Fighters is so popular. And so, to return to my earlier speculation, the balance adjustment update that they're advertising here could indicate that they are planning further DLC, so they wanted to balance the game and all that stuff, right? So that's where the speculation's coming from. So they're releasing a balance update in October. They're advertising one new character. A new warrior joins the fight. 2026 spring. So if they don't do a full pass, they could at least do maybe one new character a year, maybe two new characters a year, and not have it officially be part of a pass. But this could be a hint of what's to come. So again, nothing too crazy, right? It's just the tournament. So I guess tune in April 18th through 19th, 2026, Los Angeles, California, USA, Shrine Auditorium and Expo Hall. Pretty exciting stuff, guys. This is absolutely insane. Nobody saw this coming, and I think that's the most exciting part about it. Absolutely nobody saw this coming. Speaking of things nobody saw coming, I think Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's DLC was something that a lot of people were not very excited by. They weren't really impressed with it, and who can blame them really when you think about it, because they really didn't give us anything. You know the meme, go girl, give us nothing. They gave us something, but it wasn't too exciting. They had some interesting characters in the first wave. The second wave was decent. No new levels or anything like that until the third wave, and then in the third wave they undercooked severely on the characters. So they're hyping us up. They're advertising, oh my god, we have over 200 characters and counting. So yeah, you kind of gave it away there, but yeah, not over yet. The next DLC is already in the pipeline, bringing new characters and more. More info coming January 2026. So what this indicates to me, at least, is in January they'll announce or reveal maybe the first wave, or maybe how they're going to structure the DLC. And then Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour is where they're going to reveal the characters, or maybe further information about maybe the second wave. But I feel like January to when is Battle Hour? It's in April, right? January, February, March, April, May, June, somewhere around there, right? I think it's in April. So with all that being said, we could see maybe the first wave release in January, because that's how they do it. They like to sneak release it, right? They like to basically drop it right after they announce it, like a couple days thereabouts, or a few days thereabouts. So speculating, purely speculation, January we'll probably see the first wave, and then we'll probably get the second wave around the time of Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour, if I had to guess. Now, you know how they are with this franchise. They throw us for a loop a lot. They leave us in the dark a lot. So they could be changing how they structure this for the second DLC pass. Maybe for the second time around on the DLC pass, they'll decide that they want to announce the characters and then drop the actual DLC a few months later. So maybe that's what they're doing here. Maybe they're going to announce it in January and release it around Dragon Ball Battle Hour. Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour. There we go. So that's a possibility. Now, do I think it's likely? Probably not. But I always like to say with the Dragon Ball franchise, you never know. You never know. You know, the manga's on hiatus. The anime is, I don't know where the anime's at. You know, we did have Dragon Ball Daima, and that was a lot of fun. I was a big fan of Daima. I know a lot of people weren't a big fan of Daima. A lot of people had a problem with it, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, this is exciting. So who do I think is going to be in the past? Well, keep in mind it says 208, 209 to be continued. So who is even left to be in the past? Well, I think there's some obvious characters, right? You got Super Android 17. You got some other Dragon Ball Daima forms like Super Saiyan 3 Mini Goku. They could add him, even though I think that time has kind of passed. They could add him, hopefully. I would like to see a costume update to have Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta be costumes for the end versions of Goku and Vegeta, but with the data mining revealing that they had developed the Daima versions already. They could release them as characters, but I think at this point, just add an update to make them costumes for the end versions, and that would be fine with me. As far as other characters, there's like plenty of other characters from Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 that they cut, like King Vegeta, some giant characters, things like that. So you guys sound off in the comments below, because I don't want this video to be too long. Who do you want to see in the next DLC Season Pass for Sparking Zero? We could also, you know what, that's another thing. We could get more forms for Shallot, and they would count those as characters. That could be cool. We could get Android 21. So yeah. They are, by pulling Shallot, let's just pull up Shallot here. By pulling Shallot from Dragon Ball Legends, that's an awkward, there we go. By pulling Shallot from Dragon Ball Legends, they opened the door to other video game characters like Android 21, or the other Android 21 form, the Majin form, and the regular Android human-looking form, and more Shallot forms, and Giblet, and things like that. So there is definitely material for them, and I think they've got plenty of material to pick from. So sound off in the comments section. Who do you want to see in the next DLC pass? Alright, for this next segment, I want to thank LP Apocalypse for posting this on X, formerly known as Twitter. keep in mind when it comes to Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA. They have this new thing they're doing where it's like all about like the creators. So they don't officially release these gameplay previews anymore, which is kind of disappointing, and it's a little weird, but they released them like shortly once the creators get early access to them. So I didn't apply for it because not toward anybody else that are creators, but I like having autonomy on my channel. I like being able to speak freely about things. I want to be able to post leaks if I get them, and I feel like if you become a GEKISHIN SQUADRA creator, you kind of, I don't want to say sell out, but you can't talk about things like that. So we're using the Twitter compression video, so apologize that it's not HD, but again, this is the problem that I knew would arise from having the GEKISHIN SQUADRA Creators Program. But thanks to LP Apocalypse, we can actually view this, and so thanks a lot. Anyway, Super Saiyan Gotenks, he's a technical character, concept, a mischievous hero who uses ghosts to obstruct foes. Finish the fight with Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack and show them what you're really made of. I'm really excited for this. Passive Exaltation applies movement speed up to self and nearby ally heroes when KOing or assisting against an enemy hero. Okay, pretty cool stuff there. Rush Attack, Fire and Energy Blast, deals more damage to enemies with a debuff. Alright, so he's more of a ranged. Alright, makes sense with him being a technical and all that. Super Saiyan Transformation at level 7, base HP, and all attack up, as usual. Alright, skill 1, Hyper Ultra Super Combo. Hyper Ultra Super Combo. Warp to an enemy's location and perform a combo attack. Apply strike defense up to self during the combo. Also attacks enemies nearby. Finish by staggering them and warping back to where their skill was activated. The number of combo hits increases with skill level. So it says warp, so I'm assuming it's not like a, yeah, okay, so it's within the immediate proximity. It's not like Super Saiyan 3 Goku with instant transmission. Galactic Donut, throw a donut-shaped ring at a set position that gathers enemies together. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. Super Ghost, okay, they don't, I guess they want to stay away from the, that's weird, why didn't just call it Super Ghost? Okay, I guess, I don't want to, okay, I'm just going to say it because it's a glaring issue to me. Why do they not say Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack? Is it because of the, are they trying to be sensitive to the phrase kamikaze? Because do they, hang on, let me see what this sounds like. Is he gonna say it? Okay. Where's the super... Okay. Okay, so he says Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack. So why is it just Super Ghost? Unless I miss... Okay, alright. I was... Okay, my bad. Big... Okay. So I thought, oh my god, are they censoring Kamikaze? But no, okay, so they're making it a separate move. Okay, Summon a Ghost. Okay, that was like a whole distraction from the rest of the breakdown. But okay, Skill 3, Super Ghost. Summon a Ghost to set target. Waits at set position. If will pursue enemy heroes who draw near, explodes and disappears. If hit by an enemy, that sounds really good. Actually, that actually sounds really good. Okay, Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack. Here we go. Send a ghost rushing toward a set position. The ghost pursues enemy heroes and applies no skill / attacks to the enemy it hits with its last strike. Alright, there we go. So, that whole... has there been like a regular move where it's just Super Ghost? I've always known it to just be Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack, but maybe I haven't, like... Every time I play a Dragon Ball game, how I play it is I don't really... I like, a lot of people memorize the moves and they're able to recall the moves from memory. I know the regular big moves like Makanko Sapo and Gallic Gun and Kamehameha, and Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack. But then you got some moves that are like Justice Buster or something like that, and I'm like, I don't really know that move because it was only named, like I know Galactic Donut, but some moves that are only named in the video games, I'm not able to remember them. Just because I don't really pay attention to that when I play the games. I just more focus on having fun and doing the story mode and stuff like that. So if there was a game where they named this as Super Ghost before, I'm not aware of that. I've only ever known of it being called Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack, so that's why I was confused before we got to the Ultimate Attack, or the Super Attack, I should say, and they revealed it was Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack. So for a second, I was like, are they censoring the Kamikaze? It didn't make sense to me. Like, why would they censor that? Because, you know, it's never been censored before, and he says it in the trailer. So, no, they are not censoring Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack, thankfully, which is cool. But anyway, point is, Gotenks looks like a lot of fun, honestly. He's a technical character. I stay away from the technical characters. I don't think I have the skill for them. I'm a baby main. If I had to say who I do main, I'm a baby main. I think his playstyle agrees with me the most, which is funny, because I think if you saw me breaking down everything, I was like, I don't know if I would like baby, you know. I'm a baby main, and then I mainly play damage unless I'm playing baby or Vegeta or things like that. So should be interesting. He looks interesting enough and easy enough to where somebody like me who isn't very good at MOBAs, who just started out on playing MOBAs with this game, maybe you could play him, because he is a technical character, but his attacks seem kind of DPS-y when you think about it. Like, it's not like you're playing as Krillin, who has to lay down landmines or anything like that. I would say the most technical thing about the Gotenks is the Super Ghost thing, but again, this kind of seems more DPS-y when you think about it, more of a damage dealer thing. But again, he's also technical. This is something technical characters can do. I'm not saying that it's not. But to me, just from what I know of MOBAs and the whole category, the whole genre of games, and I'm again relatively new to MOBAs, this seems to me like somebody that a character or a player who doesn't know technical characters that well, maybe you don't want to play as Majin Buu, you could probably play as Gotenks. This seems like something you could do. So anyways, guys, that will be it for this video. I'm going to leave it on this for the ending section here because, oh my god. So yeah, like I said at the top of the video, I was sitting here thinking about what am I going to cover for the Dragon Ball Weekly News Update. There's barely anything to talk about. I could talk about GEKISHIN SQUADRA, and I could talk about the Sparking Zero stuff, but for my weekly news recaps, I want it to be a little bit substantial. You know, you guys have talked about it before. You've noticed my thumbnails are mainly made up of 3 things. Always want to have 3 stories to talk about, because I always wanted this to mainly be weekly focused, but some weeks there's just so much news. I have to make multiple videos throughout the week. This week, though, it was looking like it was going to be really, really light, and then boom. Freaking Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku coming to Dragon Ball Z FighterZ out of nowhere, or Dragon Ball FighterZ out of nowhere, so very exciting stuff. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave you guys with this look at Goku as we sign off. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Dragon Ball news and commentary, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace off.